Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, and this is my morning video where we like to take a look at the US dollar pairs, including gold, and we also take a look at a couple of the JPY pairs. If you haven't done so already, definitely check out my free trading community on Discord. The link for that is at the end of this video in the corner and in the description. If you would like to check out my membership program, check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, to get access to all these benefits listed below and more. So, anyways, first thing first is I always like to make sure that people are aware of the news for the day. Today is definitely a pretty big day for the US. We got CPI inflation data coming out today, and that is definitely one of the main news events that the Feds look at for interest rate decisions. And then we have Powell talking later on. This is the same thing that was going on yesterday. This actually will last several hours. And anytime Powell's on the calendar, you would expect to see some volatility. And then we also have Waller speaking today. She usually doesn't really move the market much, and we got a little bit of oil news today. But the CPI inflation data is definitely the one to keep an eye out for. According to the forecast, inflation is going to stay where it is at around 2.9. If it comes out dramatically different than that, that is when you're likely to get a big move in the market. So, anyways, I always like to start off on this US dollar index because if you know what the dollar is doing, then you pretty much know exactly what to do on all the dollar pairs. So I'm definitely still looking at this as an A. I still think this looks like a B. I still think at some point we're going to make a huge downtrend for a big old giant wave C. Now, whether or not this trend is actually started or not is still the question. We really don't have any break of structure to the downside. We really don't have any significant lower high. I'm hoping that this turns into a downtrend like this, but we cannot rule out the possibility that this move down is just a correction to this last wave up and we get another push up. We also can't really rule out the possibility that this turns into an expanding flat rather than a regular flat, which we have right now. So we cannot say for sure that this trend is over. I'm hoping it's over. I'm hoping that today will help prove that it's over, but I guess we'll have to just wait and find out. Moving on to the euro dollar, let's go back down to the 1 hour time, the daily time frame that is. Now, what I just said about the US dollar index applies to every single one of these dollar pairs. Hopefully, we have a bottom on all the dollar pairs, but we can't really confirm it yet. Now, the euro dollar is actually one of the only ones that has given us a break of structure to the upside. Hopefully, this is a wave one. Hopefully, this is a wave two, and this is like a subdivision of three. So like a one of three, two of three, and this thing just keeps on going up in a big old giant wave three of wave three is what we're definitely hoping for. Whether or not that's how it plays out, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully today's CPI data will confirm that one way or the other. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, I have my Fibonacci retracement on this whole move down right here. Now, if this really is the end of an ABC correction like I was hoping it is, and like I've been saying that it possibly is, then it will not break structure on these sort of time frames. You may get Fibonacci bounces, but you will not get a break of structure. It will continue to make higher highs, higher lows. Hopefully the end of an ABC of 2 and the beginning of a big giant wave 3. Now, if for whatever reason this really is not an ABC correction and this move up really is a correction to this move down, then price will go down and it will break structure and it will hold below structure. So if we pay very close attention to our structure, if we get a break and hold below structure at a Fibonacci level, I would definitely start looking for shorts again. If it just makes a normal fib bounce, no break of structure, normal fib bounce, no break of structure, I would just continue to hold on to my longs and possibly even look for more longs. So moving on to the pound dollar. Kind of the same story as all the other pairs, except for the pound dollar has not broken structure to the upside. Technically, I cannot say that the trend is up on the daily. We definitely don't have a break of structure yet. This whole move up right here still could end up being a correction and it still could end up pushing down. Just like the other dollar pairs, I'm hoping that that is the bottom. I'm hoping that this is a one, a two, and I'm hoping this is a one, two, three, four, five of wave three that we're in right now. But we really can't prove that until we get the break of structure, so we have to be a little bit cautious with our longs. Going down to the 1 hour time frame is where I got my Fibonacci, just like the euro dollar, on the whole move down. If this really is an A and this is three waves up for B and this is a C, then that means that this will continue to trend up, making higher highs, higher lows. If for whatever reason we get a big Fibonacci bounce and a big push down today and a break of structure that holds below structure, at that point I would definitely get out of my logs and maybe even consider going short because the trend is technically down on the daily. I'm definitely hoping that this is the end of a correction right here, possibly the end of a wave two, and I'm hoping that we're in a wave three and this thing just keeps on trending up, hopefully giving us that daily time frame break of structure, which will turn us bullish long term for probably at least a several months or so. So let's keep going to the Aussie dollar on the daily time frame. Now the Aussie dollar is a little different, and the Kiwi dollar a little different than the other dollar pairs, but it's still the same type of thing except for we have 5 waves down. You would expect this first move up right here to be either a wave A or a wave one. Most wave A's, wave ones do take out the previous wave four. So I'm kind of thinking there's a good chance that this is going to push up and take out this structure today. Then maybe we could get a pullback and then the continuation of the uptrend, like a 1, 2, 3 pattern. But if for whatever reason it does not break structure and it makes like a big giant move down, I guess we definitely better believe that the trend is our friend because the trend is technically still down on all these higher time frames. Moving it down to the 1 hour time frame, very, very sideways for the Aussie. The Aussie overall has been pretty strong lately, but this is still definitely pretty sideways price action. This does look a little bit like a three-way pattern up, so I would like to see this drift down a little bit. Then I'm hoping that it goes up and breaks this daily time frame structure, which will help prove to me that we really do have a trend reversal on the much higher time frames. So we have to, like I said, we have to be careful because the trend is technically down on the daily and it possibly could just keep on pushing down because of that. But because of correlated pairs, I'm hoping that this is just going to be another A, another B, and another C correction. And I'm hoping that it goes up and breaks that daily time frame structure, confirming that we have a trend reversal on the much higher time frames. So let's take a look at, first of all, the Kiwi dollar, which I don't analyze the Kiwi dollar because it's exactly the same as the Aussie dollar. Usually just the Aussie's a little stronger or a little weaker depending on the day. Exactly the same analysis. Moving on to the US dollar CAD, this definitely looks to me like a nice 5 wave uptrend, but we don't have a break of structure to the downside yet. I'm hoping that today we do get a break of structure, which to me will confirm this whole move up is over. And if this whole move up is over, then it's likely the end of a wave C on like the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame. I am definitely still expecting a big old giant wave C of wave Y, but until we get this break of structure, we really can't confirm that that is the case. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, it's been very sideways, very corrective, very sideways price action. Really hasn't seemed like a proper correction. We haven't even made a 23% pullback. So we have to be a little bit cautious in assuming that we're going to go up in any way. I'm hoping that what happens today is maybe it drifts up a little bit, but then it breaks down. Because if we get this daily time frame break of structure, then that should confirm that we have the end of a wave C on like all the way up to like the weekly monthly time frame, which would mean that we are going to make a lots of pips to the downside over the coming months. So technically the trend is up and it possibly could drift up to the 38% before it goes down. But I'm kind of hoping that it doesn't do that. I'm hoping it just goes down and breaks structure at the CPI inflation data today. So moving on to the US dollar Swiss. I think the US dollar Swiss kind of looks like it made an end of a correction. I mean, it looks like 5 ways down. It looks like corrective up. It looks like 5 ways down. I'm hoping that this does kind of drift up a little bit more, maybe take out this liquidity, and then it turns down. Then it gives us a break of structure, which hopefully will prove this whole move up is over. Most likely a wave A or a wave one. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame. So on the 1 hour time frame, definitely very impulsive to the upside. And this hopefully what happens here is maybe it does spike up and grab some liquidity, but I'm kind of hoping if it does go up, it actually just ends up being a trend reversal later on. A lot of this move up right here is actually caused by the Swiss. If you look at other Swiss pairs, all the other Swiss pairs have also made a pretty decent move to the upside. So a lot of this move that you see to the upside is definitely caused by the Swiss, not necessarily caused by the US dollar itself. The trend is definitely up. I definitely would recommend looking for logs. Hopefully it does end up maybe going up a little bit and then reversing back to the downside, giving us the end of a trend on the much higher time frames. Moving on to gold. My new target for gold is actually the $3,000 area. If you go all the way up to the monthly time frame, I mean, it's very obvious that we are still in a wave three. This is definitely still all higher highs, higher lows. Definitely still a wave three. The next target for me on a wave three is the 261, which is right around the $3,000 mark, which I think would be a nice round number for the market to possibly turn at. Now we are drifting down a little bit, but I would assume that this move down is nothing more than a correction to the last wave up. Just like for the past several weeks, I've been telling you to look for longs at the end of pullbacks. I am definitely still telling the same thing. We have no break of structure. We have no significant lower high. We really have no reason at all to say that the trend has turned down yet. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, I got my Fibonacci retracement on this move up right here. I'm hoping that we get another push up. I'm not a big gold trader. I hardly ever trade gold personally because I am an American who cannot trade gold on a margin account. But I do think there's a very good likelihood that this is going to bounce from a Fibonacci level and then hopefully it ends up continuing up. Doesn't really look like a proper correction at this point, does it? It kind of looks like it needs to do something like this, because that would be a much more proper A, B, C shape. But today's CPI inflation data should affect gold pretty significantly also. So don't be surprised if it just bounces from the fib level and just continues the uptrend from here. So anyways, let's keep going. Let's look at the US dollar yen. US dollar yen has been drifting up pretty strong with all the other yen pairs, but this is definitely not giving us any turn. There's no break of structure. There's no higher low. There's no reason at all to think that this move up may not be able to crutch into this last wave down, and it may not bounce from the fib level and keep on trending down. If you've been watching my most recent videos, I've been saying that I think that the yen pairs are all going to keep going down for a wave C, probably a wave C of 4, which will take out the previous lows. So I'm definitely still looking at any move I see to the upside as nothing more than a correction to the last wave down. So take it down to the 1 hour time frame. I have my Fibonacci retracement on the 1 hour time frame on the last impulsive move down. We have him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. I'm hoping this is an A. 1, 2, 3 down looks like a B. I'm thinking there's a good chance that this could be a wave C. If today's CPI data causes us to go down, break structure, then I think it'll be a really good sort because, like I said, I think that we are possibly going to continue to make lower lows, lower highs on the daily time frame and make a big downtrend. So I'm hoping that we get more sorting opportunities, and this definitely could make a sorting opportunity for us today, possibly at the CPI data, because the yen is a risk on, risk off currency, and it definitely gets affected by US news. Moving on to the euro yen. The euro yen also has made a very strong move to the upside, but it has not broken structure yet. I do see the possibility that this is like an A, some sort of a B, and this is a C, and it just keeps on going up, then goes up, takes this out, and then goes down later on. That definitely is possible. And if it does break structure to the upside, I'll be more than happy to start looking for logs after the break of structure. But as of right now, I'm definitely looking at any move I see to the upside as possibly just a correction to the last wave down, possibly giving us another fib bounce and giving us another continuation of the downtrend. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame. It definitely stretched out pretty strong over the last couple of days, but I still think there's a good chance it's an A, B, C. We are at the 78%. If it goes down, if it breaks structure, I think it would be the end of a correction. I think it would be the continuation of the downtrend. Definitely, definitely would be a sorting opportunity for me if I did see this picture right here. Now, on the other hand, if it does go up, excuse me, if it does go up and if it does break structure, I'd be more than happy to start looking for logs like I was explaining on the daily time frame. But unless it does that, I'm definitely primarily looking for sorts. I'm looking for Fibonacci bounces. I'm looking for 1, 2, 3 waves up, impulsive engulfing down to go short again for the continuation of the downtrend. Moving on to the pound yen, exactly the same analysis as the euro yen. We definitely do have a nice impulsive up, as you can see, but no break of structure, no high or low, no reason at all to believe that this move up is anything beyond the correction to the last wave down. We are looking for Fibonacci bounces. We're looking for more entries to go short, unless it breaks structure to the upside. Just like the euro yen, I mean, there is a possibility that this is an ABC correction and it goes up, takes out these highs, and then goes down. That definitely is possible. But unless it breaks structure to the upside, I'm definitely looking at this move up as a possible correction to the last wave down. Taking it all the way down to the 1 hour time frame, exactly the same as the euro yen and the dollar yen. I'm looking at this as possibly an A, possibly 3 waves down B, possibly big uptrend wave C. Fibonacci bounce, engulfing move to the downside, breaker structure will get me short again, hopefully for the continuation of the downtrend. If it does decide to go up and break structure, that's fine by me. If it doesn't, push down at a fib level, I will never go short anyways. So if it does go up and break structure, then I'll be more than happy to start looking for longs after the breaker structure and after the pullbacks that come after the breaker structure. So definitely pay attention to your fib levels as usual. Pay attention to your higher time frames and your lower time frame structures to hopefully get you trading in the right direction. So anyways, don't forget to join my free trading community. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading.